heroes like that really take it to the next level. And yeah, definitely that's a respect ban. What you got plays that hero all the time. I watched a couple scrims where he was actually ringing for complexity and played him. He was ringing for sync, played War Beast still at that point.
Well, speaking of War Beast, I remember that Slabbed one day said, I would love to have a War Beast who's sitting on a 300 gold per minute, but he's utilizing these Hellhounds to scout all the time, than him being 400 gold per minute. So that just tells you how the hero impact with this giving information
Right.
to uh, to the other heroes.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the parasite scouting in general. Just is knowing what your enemy's doing is the first step to overcoming. So I'd have to agree with what Zlap said there. But let's take a look here. They're gonna second pick Hellbringer for the Hellborn team. We've seen him play him before. He didn't have the biggest impact in game one against Fresh, but doesn't mean that the hero isn't still viable and strong. So um, yeah, I'll have to see there. Still open for another initiator on their team, maybe even a Magnus. I'm not sure. But now we got the Parasite to deal with.
Well, the Hellbringer there, most likely it's going to be a support Hellbringer due to that last big Deadwood. So the hero is just good when it comes to supporting. He's not the best when it comes to boxing out, but guess what? The Malphus is just going to bring so much into these team fights.
Yeah, it definitely is for sure. And um, he was always somewhat useful, but with the changes to Demon Strike and the complete rework of the hero, I'm glad that they did that and they were able to see him more because I really like to see the hero and Deadwood too. We've seen Willowmaker get buffed, nerfed, buffed, nerfed. It's finally to a point where he is a really good hero again. He's strong in the early game as long as you're wise in your choices, but now he's also viable later in the game too, with the physical damage being based off the target's health or their strength. But yeah, these bans. Ophelia is gonna be banned out here. I know I was talking about seeing her back in the game as well too, but not today. And Malikan, maybe a respect ban there, and Dark Lady, and then Swiftblade Arachna Tundra, another scouting
Uh,
hero.
well, I gotta say, when it comes like to the bans, uh, Big is just making sure that banning these heroes that complexity is comfortable running, such as Tundra, and Tundra is so good when it comes to playing with Parasite. Like that Parasite, he just could go into that shiver, and he has like insane vision around him, and you know how
Right?
far we will get with that.
It's very, very smart choice. Parasite cannot infest. Wait, can he infest the Shiver, the flying bird?
Well, he could get into it.
Ah, interesting. I'd never seen it done for whatever reason. I never saw that combination. I was thinking of you're
Well,
talking about the ground unit, but that's incredible.
well, it is an old combo that we don't see it lately, but it is still very strong.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And being able to keep that alive for a long time. But if Tundra were to resummon the Shiver, would that kick Parasite out?
Wait, are we misunderstanding here? Parasite get into the shiver.
Right.
All
Parasite.
right.
If Parasite gets into the Shiver and then Tundra summons another one, what
I'm not sure what
happens?
happens. I'm
Uh,
not sure.
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure it would bop him out for some whatever reason.
Well, it should.
Okay. But either way,
But
yes.
anyway, like this is like small details, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I know. No, it's just interesting to me. That little. Always, there's so many mechanics go into a game like this where you have almost 100 heroes with 4 spells each, sometimes 5 or more, and there's so many combinations that have yet to be discovered. You can talk about it for hours. We'll put a pause on that for now and get back into it here because now we're gonna see Meraxis, and I believe that's probably gonna be played by Fuzzy because he's phenomenal on the hero.
Well, I gotta say there is a lot of heroes that's showing a promise when it comes to team fights on the complexity.
It is true, and the
Oh man,
Prophet.
it's like so strong, and I believe both teams are going to have insane team fight capability.
Yeah, that is true. And here's another hero. This is what you were talking about. 2-0, always going outside of the box. You never can guess what hero they're gonna grab, and they pick up a Shadow Blade.
Yeah, there is a lot of people from community who are fans of the Shadow Blade, and I believe this hero is very strong when it comes to late game. But there is one weakness with this hero. This hero pretty much cannot rotate at all. Like no matter what the build you have to invest a lot in order to do so.
Yep.
That is the weakness of the Shadow Blade. But when it comes to team fights and how, like, just imagine how tanky it could be this
They
hero.
yeah, and even early on when it comes to you see people doing tricks like buying two uh, of the 10 strength ogre axes, popping his ultimate and selling him back. It just yeah, there's a lot of ways to make him really nice early on, and to the fact where you just don't want to mess with him. You're not going to gank him even though he doesn't really have an escape method.
Well, I really love the silhouette choice over there because I believe the best way to play around the Shadow Blade is just to kite him around because, as I said, this hero could be so easily kited.
Yeah, it's that faint siphon. It's pretty much the only gap closer for him until he maybe gets a Frostwolf or something with slowing capabilities. That definitely can be counted. And look at Solstice again. Uh, I mean, is it surprising anybody? I guess we shouldn't be surprised anymore that 2-0 is fine with picking heroes that are not too commonly chosen. But I mean, like you said, Solstice can counter heroes like Behemoth and Meraxis with a well placed Illuminate, stopping the portal keys.
And on top of that, we might see Alchemist spawns into that Solstice.
Very true. Another thing to look at when going against a Parasite. But super hyped about this. The game's underway. Shout out to Resnar for giving me the reminder about the overlay. Gonna keep that going as best as I can. But yeah, here we go. Let's see how this lanes come up and if 2-0, we've seen them have to make a lot of adjustments where they try to predict what the opponent's going to lane like, and then completely not be what they expected to. So I mean, initially we see Deadwood heading down to Suicide. Originally, I didn't anticipate that at all.
Well, ST is just, I gotta say, this player is an amazing suicide player, and he's one of the main reasons that 2-0 is making it too far into the Diamond Division. I gotta say, he is just not, I wouldn't say he's carrying his team. No, he's creating a space for the team to carry himself.
Yeah, and I mean it's a strategy that has got them, like you said, where they are in the Diamond Division, putting up wins, and for a relatively new team.
Well, as Deadwood, it's going to be very hard to contest with that Prophet and Silhouette, but he could maybe get level 2, but absolutely he will not have a great time on the bottom lane.
Maybe see if he tries to utilize the clear cutting, can be useful as a suicide. I think that I don't see it very often, like clear cutting into a position to just leech experience because it's kind of obvious, but it might come in handy. It's one of the only tools he has as a suicide.
Well, that Hullbringer is placed early ward of sight on the top lane, so that Behe will be spotted no matter where he go.
Oh, I see it right in the lane. Yep. And then Oscar putting up his own little ward there to prevent a little bit of Solstice rotations, maybe. And it's in a decent spot where it's not going to get countered. Oscar's a phenomenal suicide player as well.
Well,
So,
the ward of sight over there, I really loved it because that Behe has a marcher, so he will not have the great time of the laning phase. So he will be just rotating all the time, and it is so important to see him where he's going when he's leaving the lane. That's going to just allow the Hullbringer to move along with him or just pulling the lane meanwhile he's missing.
yeah. So, I mean, this is already insane. I'm kind of watching all three lanes here, and it's just nonstop harassment. Not even seeing like that passive farm gain. Midas is doing his best to box out Meraxis already in mid, getting like this crazy lane positioning going. This is very aggressive play by Zephyrinth. You think that's what you got to do against Meraxis?
Well, I gotta say, Midas is just ridiculous. Like, he's a strength hero, and on top of that, he is range.
Right.
He got a lot of base damage, so you just didn't know how to deal with this hero in the early game.
It's true. They're gonna have to figure out some way to deal with him because he's already got the heads up on Meraxis. Oh, Deadwood though, utilizing that clear cutting gets taken pretty low, but he's got a health pot handy. Let's hopefully he can get that off without Prophet interrupting it. Prophet's just gonna keep pushing him out. Oh yeah, Midas sitting on 7, well 9-1 now against the 8-0 Meraxis. So it's a little closer than I thought, but yeah, eventually he's starting to slowly eat up all of Meraxis regen. So definitely want to keep up the pressure there. I guess we'll see a bottle on Meraxis here in no time though. Invisibility rune picked up by Prophet. Deadwood's got to be careful here.
Well, it's going to be so tough to kill that Deadwood. Like after all, he got.
It's true, but he's almost out of. He's pretty much out of regen now. So even a really good harassment here is going to put him in a bad position.
Well, the thing is, he could.
And look
cut
at the rotate. Rotation coming out from what you got too. Deadwood's making his way with the clear cutting. The Vagabond leader is going to throw out that Q spell. Here comes Tree Grapple from Dark Lady. They're putting in the auto attacks. Parasite getting off a nice body block. And there's the Bloodlust kill. Credit going to Prophet. I'll put that to good use.
Rotation into that. Okay, it's fine. Alexis.
Yes. Yes, Meraxis finally getting that bottle delivered. Just in time, apparently, because Solstice was ready to do some damage there. But
well, as you see, Solstice got goals of the Swift, so he's going to run into that Alchemist Mons, maybe first item. That's a greedy, but it could work.
So yeah, he will be rushing that, and if his team, if his team can hold their ground, I mean they're doing fairly decent top and mid, so I'm okay with it. In the meantime, as long as it doesn't start getting out of hand down the bottom.
Well, when it comes to top, I will not say they're doing decent, because after all, okay, think about it this way. This behemoth started with a Marcher. So if he got level 3, that's all what he needs. He's going to leave the lane, and I gotta say, as a Shadow Blade, you will struggle a bit pushing the tower because this hero cannot push as fast as Silhouette, not like Dark Lady,
That's a good point. So, I mean, you're right. On that note, Behemoth has rotated. He got the Striders, so he's going to be looking to help out anywhere he can. But
so
I still think the 2-0s, they're not in a bad position by any means. It's less than ideal, as you're saying, and the gold disparity, 500.
Well, they are not yet, but depend on the Behemoth rotation. The next minute, it's going to be decided.
Right. If he ultimately gets any success. Midas has hit level 4, so that is the sweet spot for him, at least being able to hold his own. And, yeah, interesting. We still haven't seen Parasite aside from that first gank, too, so with Parasite and Behemoth roaming, it's going to get real dangerous here at bottom lane for Deadwood.
Well, I gotta say, as Hellbringer, you are really happy that Behemoth left the lane. As you see, he got a triple stack on the pull camp. He's going to pull, and Behemoth went back to the lane.
He did go back to the lane.
Okay, so
happy Hellbringer, sad Hellbringer.
Yeah, because Shadowblade pushed the lane like it's a mind game. You push the lane, you force Behemoth to come back, and then you pull the lane back. Then Behemoth has to run all the way in order to rotate again.
And just keep denying him. Yeah, this is definitely some.
And
it's a lot to think about all the while you're planning your whole team play. You're last hitting. But it's definitely if they can do that, it'll work out. Because like you said, if Behemoth makes really good rotations, that's good for the Legion. If they can make him waste this time, that's gonna buy more time. Deadwood getting manned up on down here.
Well, I gotta say, Deadwood is not a hero that you would love to run against something like Silhouette, because like she could easily bait your ultimate. But when I would love to run this hero when I'm facing like a shortly Mage Bane, Dark Lady, because these heroes as soon as that Deadwood was going to reach level 6, guess what? These are easy hunts, pretty much.
Yeah, agreed. And just the nature of Silhouette in general, if Deadwood gets in bad positioning, she's just gonna pound in the relentless salvo hits, and it's just annoying to be in that position as a melee hero against a Silhouette. At least the lane's pushed up for him. He might get a couple of farm here, And get himself a nice pair of boots.
Well, for some reason, the top lane is getting pushed so hard. Like there's just too many creeps around. Even though the Hellbringer pulled a triple stack.
I think he's got a stack going in the hard camp too. Maybe next wave he's going to try to double pull and fix
Well,
that.
if he do that, then he's going to get early level 6. Oh man, that's going to be amazing.
He's making a triple stack on that hard camp too.
Maybe he's going to leave it for Solstice or share experience.
Ultimately, yeah, Deadwood though. I mean, GPM he's doing a little bit better than or he's going to take some hits here. He's doing a little bit better than Behemoth, but Behemoth got a huge wave coming too. Oh, he was stacking that for Solstice, so no early 6 on Hellbringer, but he's going to get a little of experience. Solstice choosing to be generous and share that. I think this game is going to explode as soon as we see the levels get on this Hellborn team. A little more experience on these heroes, and it should really step up the action
Well,
with this strat.
I believe the action is going to be from the Parasite side. Like, oh man, he didn't do anything so far except ganking the Deadwood, but ganking Deadwood is not a key to win this game.
Right. And Miraxis got that haste rune, but not doing much of it. And Parasite's going to steal this double, or Solstice is going to steal the double damage. Nope, he's going to leave it for Midas. I'm sure Midas appreciates that. Double damage Midas definitely capable of putting out some serious hits. The rotation from Behemoth, though, he's got a Veiled Rot ready. We'll see if he tries to make something happen here. Now with level 5.
Well, I believe he's going to move with the Parasite. They will just make such a nice combination. Because Behemoth doesn't have the damage with the Miraxis to kill that Midas.
Yep, definitely not with Midas. And with a double damage in his bottle, too. Don't want to have any mishaps. But Shadowblade's doing fairly well. 350 GPM, just under Silhouette. Like you said, does Shadowblade have really good farm potential? Is he able?
Silhouette?
Yeah, as good as Silhouette.
Not really. Like, it depends how are you going to build him. If you go for Thunderclaw, then yeah, but after all, Silhouette doesn't need a Thunderclaw to just have to have a farming capability, you know? That's the difference.
And that's 2,500 gold on a Thunderclaw, which adds no primary stats, which is what the hero is built around too. So,
well, it seems that Shadowblade got Alchemist Bones for the Parasite.
oh, Behemoth throwing out the Fisher stun on a Deadwood, Tree Grapple ready, and Parasite rotating. They are going to collapse on this Deadwood. Well, they bring 4 heroes, but they get the job done, and that's a Deadwood. Not before getting level 6, mind you, so that when he respawns, we could see him rotating elsewhere.
Well, he could rotate to the Miraxis, like the only lane he could rotate to, because the top lane there is just no one around here.
TP's coming in bottom. Behemoth, nice Fisher block to put Solstice in a way that he's got to be. Oh, and it was a perfect block, actually. I thought he had to run around, but they get the deny.
Yeah, just deny secured after all.
And
they didn't waste a lot of TPs. Shadowblade is still pushing top, so...
Oh, Miraxis is going to get initiated on that double damage. Deadwood did put a nice rotation in. One more auto attack will do the trick. The attack didn't do it because the Matrax was up. And now the rotation, the tide's returning. Behemoth canceling that Fisher. I guess he didn't want to overcommit here as Solstice...
Meanwhile?
Yeah, 4 heroes in the meantime.
Meanwhile, Shadowblade is taking top tower.
That he is, and Solstice picking up that Sustainer on her way to...
Well, that's a lot of
Stone.
gold. That's a lot of gold into that Shadowblade now.
Yeah, with the Alch Bones, we'll start to see him snowball, and Solstice getting active. The jungle can be opened up for Shadowblade a little bit too if he needs to kind of steal a couple creeps here and there.
He is not the fastest jungler, so I feel like leaving 2 camps for him will be more than enough. You know what I mean? Like, this hero,
Yeah.
The issue with this hero is not sky farming.
Oh, that Ward of Sight placed just in range of the Rev Ward. That kills you as Hellbringer right now.
Well, on mid, Solstice is just chilling there. He's channeling.
Oh, he's channeling his ultimate It does not connect. That Fuzzy Sloth game sense, man. He just falls back. I don't think he saw it, so it was just, yeah, step aside. Not sure if the kill would have been guaranteed either. Meraxis is pretty
Well, they
tanky
do.
with steam
I
boots.
like 400 damage from the Source's ulti and combo from Midas. If that
Oh.
Meraxis doesn't click his ulti,
Shadowblade way overextended here. Parasite coming out of the Wild Hunter with the sneaky beaky attack. Shockwave Behemoth. And they
that's
punish
what?
Marcus Moy. I think he felt comfortable. I mean, 10 minutes really. They haven't attempted to harass him at all. And you said he was easy to gank. No, you know. So they finally do make him pay.
Well, at this point, as you see, the Shadowblade will not have a place to farm because Solstice need the jungle in order to get that BK if he's going for.
Come on, Hellbringer. We need you on level 6. Oh, there's some action here. Parasite's going to get melted by Solstice. And that gets the job done there. Solstice, what do you think? Portal key?
Well, they have Shadowblade, so they could run two carries, which I don't prefer because it seems like the Helper team is lacking
Oh,
some.
Behemoth getting screwed over by those creeps. They don't go on him, though.
Oh yeah, the Helper team, as it seems, they are lacking a bit of rotations. Like that Hellbringer is not the best hero to rotate with, so.
Right? And he's been trying, but yeah, you can tell it's hurt his experience. Lowest level in the game here. And
Well, he just had he's just doing fine as a Prophet. But Prophet like doesn't need anything pretty much.
Yeah.
When you run Hellbringer, you are running a greedy support.
that is true. He's gonna give a health potion here to Solstice. What a kind soul. But here's Deadwood. He's got a Veiled Rot, and he's gonna find Parasite here. Don't know if that's what he wanted. He probably wanted to find Silhouette. Gets the Rotten Grasp to connect. He'll get out of there alive.
Well, that did we're just trying hard to rotate into that Silhouette before she get the Null Stone because when she get the Null Stone, then the Silhouette is getting out of handed.
Yeah, he loses his impact a little bit there. And Deadwood not with too many targets, honestly. You know, sometimes you hope that you get that Falcon Punch, just an easy target that you can get some kills with. But you got to worry about Meraxis with his W spell. And getting close to Behemoth isn't always easy.
Speaking of Hellbringer, he got his Malphus now.
This is true, and we'll see what they try to do with it here. Shadowblade's going to be... Picks up a Helm of the Victim, so I guess Whispering Helm would be the... Or could we see an Insanitarius on him?
Insanitarius.
Okay.
Most likely we're going to see Insanitarius. Like, there is no reason for him to run Whispering Helm, like when he has Alchemist Bones.
Okay.
That would be too greedy, and he will get punished for that, for sure. I'm telling you.
Always true, and Sanitarius definitely a good item on a tanky hero, just to make you that much of a threat where they're probably not going to focus you in team fights. So we see Deadwood getting in position here, but he doesn't know there's an invisible Prophet nearby. This could be bad for him. Prophet's kind of just stalking him here. Hasn't gotten into tower range yet, but Prophet level 6 does a little bit of damage. If you have Silhouette hammering on a debilitated hero. Or what's it? Yeah, debilitate.
Well, Solstice just bought something. It might be the BK. It is getting delivered on the way. Yeah, it's a BK.
Awesome.
So,
I
2-0.
I think they needed it, because more PKs the better at this point.
Well, indeed they do. And 2-0 now they are.
Meraxis got his PK. Yeah, he's going to find Midas here. Midas going to Elemental Warp, get the stun off onto Prophet. While Solstice is channeling his ultimate, he gets the explosive attack onto Prophet. Instantly melt him. And here comes that Malphus ultimate. It's going to keep Midas alive. Meraxis running for his life, but the Shockwave finishes Midas off. And now Meraxis is running for his life. Gets a Quake stun off onto Solstice, who does not have Illuminate ready, so he's not going to be able to channel that Q spell. Oof. I thought Midas was going to get away with his life there.
Well, Midas. Well, it would be really nice if Midas escaped over there, but
Oh,
unfortunately.
look at this. Bottom lane. Solstice is going to go on to Silhouette. The Deadwood Falcon Punch going to put on there, but he changed. He switched into his illusion and gets the TP out. Well played there by Silhouette.
And guess what? She will just come back again.
Yep. Oh, and they didn't kill the illusion. Absolutely. That's a misplay.
No, well, they wouldn't kill it because I mean they cannot pretty much.
Yeah, maybe she comes back with full health and then they're in trouble. That's
Well,
unfortunate.
what I mean is they don't have the damage, I believe, because they spent everything into the real one.
Oh, and the Miraxis. Here comes Fuzzy with the big-time PKs, and he's relentless. He's going to hunt you every time if you get in a position where he can kill you. And yeah, still hasn't got a kill yet, but played a major role in 2.
Well, as you see, the impact of that silhouette is just like it is compared to the Shadow Blade. Like that silhouette is having a lot of impact into the game. She is forcing people to come to the bottom, and they get nothing.
This is true. There's been a lot of focus around the bottom lane, even with the Rev Wards and just generally diverting their attention away from Behemoth, who's quietly farmed up a portal key of his own.
And now there is the Incendiary aspect onto that Shadow Blade. I believe True Zero have to force team fight soon.
And get Shadowblade involved in those fights.
Well, that's why you built Incendiarius with this hero.
Midas, though, he gets put in a bad position here. The ultimate coming out from Prophet. And he does get away. Missed axe by Miraxis. Lucky to have his life there, I'd say.
Well, what I mean is, when you are running Shadow Blade with Incendiarius, you would really love to force these early team fights. Otherwise, you would go for either Lighter Plant, Downribringer, Thunderclaw.
Down here at bot Rune. Parasite's going to initiate on a Deadwoods, picking up that double damage. Finishing the job is Formless, quickly getting away with that tree grapple. While Shadowblade 2 feet away and Hellbringer with his ultimate. But Deadwood died too fast for them to react.
Well, as you see so far, 2-0 is just getting...
Oh my goodness, Deadwood just throws out... wait a minute.
Well, as you see, 2-0 is just getting dominated pretty much. They don't... Well, on mid, Shockwave.
Yep. It's going to be what we expect out of Oscar and Fuzzy Sloth once they both have their portal keys. I mean, this is textbook complexity. They just play so well together. They have such a history that they know how to find kills. And 2-0 is not adapting. I mean, if 2-0 wants to force team fights, then they should be sticking together. I mean, they're grouping up now, but...
It might be mid-tower over here by complexity. Oh, never mind. They're going to take the Triple Ancients.
Maybe this is an opportunity to initiate onto Parasite. They do get the Rotten Grasp off in time, and they lock him down. So there's at least one kill, and that is them grouping up. Pays off a little bit here. But if they can somehow find their way to these Ancients, who are all low and not killed, this is definitely a good find for 2-0. Fisher only helps the cause.
Well, by the way, when you're running Shadow Blade, like, you would love to build items that could be agility and strength at the same times. But when you're running Incendiarius with the Shadow Blade, it's gonna just force you to be a strength all the time, pretty much. So you will not have the best attack speed, neither the best armor. But yeah, he will be able to just be tanky as much as possible, but
And hit kind of hard.
But he will not be able to contest with that silhouette as a strength primary.
Yeah, so
You
maybe...
know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Silhouette is as strong as it is. She feels like she has more potential physical damage to me than a Shadow Blade. I don't see him very often, so I might not be saying much, but from my perspective, it makes sense.
Well, you see that the Shadow Blade went Firebrand. Well, there is no reason for him to run the Firebrand except the movement capability that the item is giving.
Yeah, and movement speed is definitely always useful. You got 3 PKs on the team. In order to keep up with those, you're gonna need some way to be there. Well, let's see what happens here. The teams are gathering at bottom lane. We got 2 for Hellborn and 3+ for the Legion side. Here comes the initiation. Miraxis does not connect with the Quake stun. And as a result, we'll fall back. They're going to use the Stealth Hunter, and there was a Rev Ward here a second ago, but it just expired. So they got to be careful.
Shadow Blade might be in danger.
They
Oh,
decide to go on to Midas, and yeah, Portal Key now onto Swiftblade. 3 PKs for the Legion side as well. Here comes the Behemoth. Oh no, that's the Miraxus stun, but the Shockwave following after, and it's taking a while, but Shadowblade's going to fall. And now here come the ports in very late. I don't know if this was the best decision. Solstice is instantly going down. Midas gets a little bit of damage off into a Prophet, but completely irrelevant as the rest of this team is falling. And they kind of commit to save the Shadowblade, and it backfires big time. That's a quad kill for Formless.
well, they had only one kill that they missed. That is onto the Behemoth. That the
They got
Grib
it.
missed from. Okay. Well, anyway, the Grib missed from the Deadwood there,
Oof.
but it doesn't matter after all.
That's the quick one, and I didn't foresee that. I mean, yeah, they're losing pretty bad, but well, that's game 1 for you there. MVP,
man.
if you had to pick one MVP of this game.
Well, I most likely I would choose the Fuzzy Sloth over there over the Behemoth. Due to that, he was like he got the PK and he was just creating a space for that Behemoth to get his PK as well.